We have been married a long time. We have been blessed by the Lord with 50 years of marriage. So we celebrated this past November our golden wedding anniversary. And there are many couples in our church, friends of ours, who are married longer than we are.
60.
So we are very grateful and very blessed.
It's unique. We're both very strong-willed people, firstborns, independent. We like to be in charge, and but it's been an interesting marriage because we do our own things many times. She had her own decorating business. I had my business that I took over with in the family, and sometimes we're operating in different areas. Like even for now, she spends more time living in Virginia. I spend more time living in Pennsylvania or traveling around in business, and we come together and we're happily married. So. I guess being married doesn't mean you have to spend 100% of your time together, hopefully, because we're not. But we still.
But it works for us.
It works for us.
It does.
Works great.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
It's been a journey from, city time in Washington, where we met, to now in retirement, 47 years. But God has been so gracious, and when we look back on some of the things that seem like such big deals to us then, it's not such a big deal anymore. And I'm glad that sometimes you feel like giving up on marriage, but I'm glad we never gave up. On our 6th anniversary was our toughest time. When you say
through
so.
tough times, yeah. And, I look back on it and think, how did we make it? And so many people I know did not make it in their marriage. And I mean, obviously being Christians played a big role. I mean, following the leading of God and what the Bible teaching, but a lot of it's commitment too. You just have to be committed to working it through. It's
We've all familiar, or most of us are anyway, with the triangle, the love triangle, where Christ is at the apex, husband and wife at the bottom, and the closer we get to Him, the closer we get to each other. And also the fact that families that pray together stay together. So those are thoughts we've had, and why we've approached our own prayer life that way. But,
Yes, it says that, wives should submit to their husbands, and that's what God ordained for that to be. I'm a very strong-willed person, and I know there are a lot of women who say, well, that submission thing is just really not for today's woman. But really, it's for today's Christian woman, because if we say that we love God, then we need to submit to Him and be obedient to Him. And I think many times I've told women, I said, well, when my husband says something that I'm not real excited about, that I have a different opinion, I just see God's face on his shoulder, because He's the one who's leading me, and I'm submitting to God as much as I'm submitting to Him. So I think that's one of the things that over the years He's taught me, is being submissive is not just being subservient. It's really obedience to the Lord, and there's joy in that.
And times when we didn't know what was happening and how the Lord was leading, and He was really asking us to trust Him. There's a little poem that we love. It's on a plaque in one of our bedrooms in the home. I memorized it a long time ago, and it's come back to me over and over again. Trust Him when dark doubts assail thee. Trust Him when thy strength is small. Trust Him when to simply trust Him seems the hardest thing of all. Trust Him then through cloud and sunshine. All thy cares upon Him cast, till the storms of life are over and the trusting days are past.
While we're independent, we do a lot of things independently. We always communicate, and I think communication is a very key ingredient of a marriage too. And this day with cell phones and everything else, there's no excuse not to communicate. It's very easy, and even though we're apart a lot, we're on the phone many times a day, usually talking about things, family issues or just fun things. What I saw, hey, you should see what I saw back there. This kind of thing.
Sometimes he calls me down in Virginia and said, "Do you see the moon tonight?"
Oh, it's shining. Yeah,
I know.
it's shining in
Oh, it's
Pennsylvania.
pretty,
It's
honey.
down in
I do
Virginia
see
too.
it.
Yeah, same moon. Isn't that something? Yeah.
So yeah, that's just kind of neat.
Yeah. So we do a lot of communicating, and she's been very good at it. I'm learning to be better at it.
I think it's openness and honest communication. I think that's a key. And it's really unwavering commitment to our vows. We were listening again to a recording of our wedding ceremony
Yeah.
for our golden wedding anniversary, and those vows are they're before they were made before our friends and family, but they were said before God, and it's total commitment.
Found that if you're going into a marriage or any relationship where you think you have a right to feel a certain way, or this, I have a right to feel this way if you've been wronged or hurt or something like that, you have to realize that when you're in a relationship, you have no rights, basically. And that's a hard thing to say, but for the sake of a marriage, Jesus gave up his right to be the Son of God, to be our Savior. We have to give up our rights sometimes and realize that, when we give in, it's not because, what does he think I am, some dumb blonde or something? No, it's not that. It's because we have a commitment and it's not worth the hassle. I mean, that's what I tell people. It's not worth the hassle of being right because you think you're right. It's giving in because it's for the sake of the unity. And I think that's in any relationship, whether it's a friendship or a marriage or, people in your family. It's not worth getting mad or holding a grudge for it. It's forgiveness. And when you can forgive and go on, that's the best way to be.